Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be unboxing, setting up and reviewing the TP-Link Tapo C200. Okay, so moving on to the unboxing of the product, so we'll just go around the box and see what it says. So here we have the TP-Link Tapo C200. You can see pan and tilt, home security Wi-Fi camera. It's 1080p, has night vision up to 30 feet, and it does support a micro SD card as well. So looking at the side of the box, we just have some more information here. We have an LED signal light, the lens itself, and the product's DC powered. Now it doesn't look like you can do power over Ethernet or anything like that with this camera, but we'll have a look at that once we open it up. And we have pan and tilt functionality as well. You can see we have a couple of mounting options. We can either have it flat on a desk or a side table or something, or it looks like we can mount it up to the ceiling as well. Okay, moving to the back, just some more information about the product. You can use it to spy on your cat, and some information about the features here. So we've got smooth pan tilt, safe storage, sound and alarm, so trigger light and sound effects to frighten away unwanted visitors. So it sounds like this has an alarm in it as well, so we'll have a look at that feature. High definition, like I've already said. We can see the live video anytime, anywhere on the app. Privacy mode, night vision, we'll have a look at that as well. Have two-way audio, which is quite interesting, so you can talk to your cat when you're out as well. And we can share the files that we have as well on social media platforms if you so desire. On this side here we have a QR code. To scan for more information. I don't know if that might take you to the app as well. We'll have a try at that. Some more specifications about it here. So our requirements: you need a mobile device running iOS 9 or higher, or an Android device running 4.4 or higher. I don't know if there's a web interface for this as well. We'll have a look at that when we get into the setup. It works on Wi-Fi 2.4. Doesn't look like this has 5 gigahertz, but again we'll have a go at that when we get it all set up. And the app is free. Quick list of what you get in the box here. So some mounting options, the camera base, the camera itself, quick start guide, and AC adapter. And yeah, it does look like there's a QR code there to go and get the app. So the whole thing comes in this cellophane to protect the box. It has kind of nicked open here, so I'll just use that to get into the box as well. Okay, some more information on the bottom of the box that we didn't look at there actually. So just some more information on the camera, some contact details, model number, the small print sort of stuff. Okay, so how do we get into it? Looks like we just get in at the side here. Comes. Okay, so it looks like this has been opened before. Now I should point out that I was told that this was a demo version of this camera, so this might have been this might be already used. Of course, when you're buying something from TP-Link, it'll be brand new, unless otherwise stated. So it just looks like whoever's had this out hasn't quite put it away as neatly as you might expect. So looks like we just have some small print stuff here, usage, some mounting instructions there, and the QR code for the app again. This is quite good. We've got the guide if you're going to drill holes in your ceiling to mount the camera. Okay, we've got the DC adapter here. Probably be 5 volts, I would imagine, perhaps 12, did it say? Oh, 9, okay, 9 volt adapter there. This is the mounting hardware if you're going to mount it upside down to the ceiling. You get the bits and bobs for that. And here is the camera itself. Okay, so quite modern, sleek looking camera. You can see we've got the DC jack there, speaker at the back, and the TP-Link logo. Got the indicator LED and the camera itself, and tapo on the front there. Looks like the bottom itself here actually rotates, so you rotate the whole camera. I'm not going to do that too much, I don't want to force it. You can see this is the portion that would tilt here as well. Excellent. Okay, so we'll move on and have a look at the app, and we'll see if we can get this set up. Okay, so I've gone ahead and downloaded the app from the App Store. I did record me doing that, but unfortunately I didn't have the settings right in my screen capture on my Android device here, so it's not recorded correctly, and I did end up having to show quite a lot of personal details while setting up an account, which it does make you do when you're setting up the app. So I've decided, rather than go through the setup, which is very easy, as I said, you download the app, you create an account, and then you search for the device on your Wi-Fi network. So I'm at that stage now when the camera's set up. So how it works is when you're all set up and you've created your account and you're adding a device, and I can show that here, this is the main screen of the app. You click on the plus button and then you choose what kind of camera you have. So in this case, obviously we have the C200. When you click on that, it takes the camera, when you first plug it in, the little light on the front of the camera flashes green and red. And while it's doing that, the camera is emitting its own Wi-Fi network that you then go ahead and attach to, and then you tell it which network you want it on in your house, and then that's pretty much it. What I will say is I did struggle to find the to set the camera up, and it's because my phone was defaulting from using the Wi-Fi to then use my data connection. So in order to have the device set up properly, I had to turn my mobile data off, and as soon as I turned my mobile data off, the setup process went very smoothly. So going back to the main screen here, and we can see we have the camera set up. I've just got the camera sitting looking at its box for the purpose of testing. On this screen, if you had more than one camera, they would just be all listed on the screen, and you could flick up and down between the devices that you have. But here we only have one, so we're just going to tap on the camera. And here we're on the main screen. This is the live view of what's happening on the camera at the moment. So we'll just go through some of the settings. So at the top here we have the settings for the camera. So you can change the name or the location. During the setup, it does ask you what room you have your camera in, and you can name it during the setup as well, which makes it quite easy to manage if you've got a lot of these cameras in your house. You've got the time zone, video resolution, whether you have the LED on or off. So there was that little blinking LED at the top of the camera. You can turn that off. I suppose if you do have this in your living room, that LED might become quite distracting, so it is good that you can turn that off. Detection and alerts, I've turned that off for now. There is a motion detection function on this, so that would be quite handy if you're out the house and you wanted alerted if there was any motion detected. I've turned that off for now because I was setting it off quite a lot and getting lots of notifications just while I'm here doing the testing. You can insert an SD card into the device and record locally. I'm not going to do that just here. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you where the SD slot is because it's quite nifty. But I'm not going to do that here, mainly because I don't have any spare micro SD cards. We've got some advanced settings just about your account, the display, some privacy modes, all that sort of stuff. So we'll come back out of settings. Then on the main screen here we can see we are live and we've got the time and the date. If we click on where it is auto, this is where it can change between day mode and night mode. So at the moment it's auto detecting that it's quite light in the room and it's on day mode. We can manually turn it to night mode. And you hear a little click out of the camera when that happens. That sounds like a little relay that's turning some IR LEDs on in the camera. We'll turn that back to auto even. And it stayed in night mode for some reason. We'll give it a while, see if it decides that it's daytime. And here we can have high quality or low quality. Let's give this a little prompt that we wanted in day mode. There we go. Okay, so other functions we have here is this button here. Now if we have more than one camera, we can see, we could have, we could add our other cameras in these boxes here. We just have the one for now. This next one along, it looks like a camera. This is so we can take a photograph, and that saves to your phone's memory. The button in the middle here, that's to start recording. Now if you've got an SD card in, of course this will record all the time, but if you want to just record a short clip, you can push the record button there and it'll start recording until you press stop. Volume here is the camera's microphone. I'm just going to leave that on its recommended settings. And of course the next button there along would expand the video view to full screen. Next button here we have here is talk. So we can push this, and then if we push and hold the microphone in the middle of the screen there, our voice comes out of the speaker on the camera. I'll demonstrate that later on, because if I do it now we'll get all sorts of feedback. We'll come back out of there. We can voice call as well, so we can call the camera, which I just did there, but again we'll get all sorts of feedback if we start playing with that now. So we'll move on to pan tilt. So here we can pan and tilt our camera. So it's quite responsive, and there's not very much lag between pressing the buttons and the camera moving around, which is excellent. And we can pan up and down as well. Now obviously I'm on the same Wi-Fi network. If you're away from the house that might take a little bit longer, I don't really know. We have horizontal and vertical cruise as well. So if we select the vertical one, the camera will tilt to its maximum points up and down. We'll just stop that there, and again it would do it with the horizontal there as well. We'll just come back to the center there. So that would be quite nice if you're trying to capture what's going on in quite a large room. The camera can automatically pan and tilt around. The other thing we can do is, if we get our camera exactly where we want it and press the mark position button, it'll ask us what we want to call this position. We'll just call it mark position 2 for now and click save. Then if we move the camera around a little, but if we wanted to go back to that marked position, we can go to marks and click on the position, and the camera will auto move, and it moves quite quickly when you do that. In here you can set how many degrees that the camera will move per tap. So every time you tap the button it's moving 10 degrees. You can move that up to 15 or down to 5, depending on how much control you'd like over the camera. Okay, so coming out of that, we've also got privacy mode. So clicking privacy mode turns the video off. And then if we wanted to get it back, we just click exit on the middle of the screen and it comes back on. You see detection off, that's what I was just talking about a few minutes ago there. That's the motion detection. And there's some settings in that with how sensitive you want the motion detection to be. Alert is currently off. If we press alert on, you might be able to hear this over the microphone. Oh, you need detection on for that. Okay, let's go back. Let's try alerts. Okay, so you could hear there that we set the alarm off on the camera. Playback, so that'll play back any footage that you have saved, and memory is how you can scroll through the footage you've got saved to find the right clip. So all in all, the app is quite good. It's quite intuitive, and so far I've been quite impressed with the functionality that you get from the app. But But let's go on and see some footage from the camera, and we'll see if we can go ahead and spy on the cat. I'm just going to stop the video here for a second, as while I'm editing this and just having a play around with the app for this camera, I've noticed that there's a feature that I haven't discussed, and that's if you pinch on the screen, you can actually zoom in and out of the image, the live image from the camera. So just as if you were zooming in and out on a photograph, say on your phone, you can do the same thing with the live image on the camera. You do lose a little bit of resolution, of course, when you're doing this, but I just think that's a nice feature and something that some people might be specifically looking for, so it was worth mentioning. Okay, so I managed to entice the cat into the room with some ham, and he's now the star of the show. I thought he would pay a bit more interest to the camera than he did, but he was much more interested in the ham. We do have a little sniff of the camera there, but then after that, he's got his eyes well and truly on the prize. Okay, and we're trying again here with some night vision. So again, tempting the cat with some ham. The night vision's actually really clear on this. I'm actually quite surprised how clear it is. There's about 6 IR emitting LEDs around the lens of the camera, which obviously helps dramatically with the night vision. As you can see, I thought that Ben would be much more interested in the camera, especially in a minute or two when I start panning and tilting it around, but he is not interested anymore as there is no more ham. Okay, so just while testing the camera here, I was looking for the SD card slot so I could show that to you, and I was kind of looking all around the camera and couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to resort to the user manual, and it's actually hidden down here. So you have to tilt the camera all the way back, and that exposes this SD card slot and reset button down here, which does keep the SD card kind of safe from anyone tampering with it, unless they're, unless you happen to have the camera in this position, which is maybe fairly unlikely in most use cases. So I thought that was just a nifty little feature that was worth showing. Okay, so there we have unboxing and testing setup of this TP-Link Tapo C200 Wi-Fi pan tilt camera. Overall, I'm quite impressed by it, really. It's currently £25 on Amazon, which is I didn't actually know how much this cost when I started reviewing it, and I was actually quite surprised to find out that it was at that lower price point. I was expecting more towards the somewhere between £55 and £75 for this. It isn't the most robust camera in the world. This isn't for outdoor use, it's for indoor use only, and as a result, it's kind of, the quality of the plastic, and that's probably not what you'd get on like a rugged outdoor camera. But if for indoor use is all you need, then you really can't go wrong with this. The app is quite good, it's easy to set up, it's quite intuitive. It did glitch a couple of times. I had to restart it a couple of times, but that might be down to user error rather than anything to do with the app itself. The pan tilt is very smooth. The night vision works well. It's a nice touch that it has the speaker and the microphone in it. So overall, I think I could probably recommend this little camera to anybody who needs cameras for the inside of their house. Things I could see this being well used for is CCTV in a garage or a shed or something like that, as long as you've got power, obviously. So yeah, I'll leave a link to where you can buy this camera down in the video description, and I'll also leave some links to social media and Patreon accounts down there. And thanks for watching.